You found me again. I thought I was already gone for good. Alright, enough with the nonsense preamble. Let's officially begin my rambling. The man's name is A Gang. Just because his wife didn't understand his sorrow, he came alone to the distant wilderness. Suddenly, a massive, fallen tree blocked A Gang's path. Seeing that it was getting late, A Gang decided to borrow Tree Bro's body to build a shelter for tonight's Kishi festival. He quickly pulled out his tools and gave Tree Bro a good, loving treatment. After clearing away all the branches, the next step was to plane a flat surface on the trunk. 2.5 years of wandering in the wild had honed A Gang's skills. Each swing of the axe was precise and powerful, quickly creating a smooth platform. He lay down to test it. It perfectly matched his 6-foot height. But did you think that was all? To make the shelter more spacious and comfortable, A Gang first cut a few small holes on both sides of the big tree. Then he went nearby to collect some branches. After whittling both ends to the appropriate size, they could be used to connect the upper and lower holes, effectively doubling the shelter's area. Once the main framework was complete, he continued to collect branches to build the shelter's walls. He trimmed away excess twigs and secured them with hemp rope, ensuring that every branch was firmly bound together. With A Gang's patient and meticulous work, one wall was quickly completed. He then repeated the process, rapidly building the second wall. Don't dismiss it, the space does look considerably wider, and the overall structure is quite solid and durable. You could even sing, dance, and play basketball on it. To make the shelter look more aesthetically pleasing, these edges and corners naturally needed to be trimmed neatly. That way, if any wild wives passed by, they would be impressed by his exquisite craftsmanship. Next, A Gang bent a branch into a circle, intending to make a door frame for the shelter. However, a small hiccup occurred midway. Fortunately, A Gang reacted quickly. It almost hit his handsome face. Tying the rope securely, a perfectly sized door frame was finished. After installing it in the opening, he went to prepare 99 small sticks, which he could then neatly fix onto the frame. It's just that the shape looks a bit strange the more I look at it, giving me a feeling of confusion. Those who have lived in something similar will surely understand. A Gang then bent another circle, but this time it was for making the main door. After tightly arranging the small sticks and interlocking them with hemp rope, he ensured none of the sticks could run away from home, trimming off the excess edges. A door was easily completed. But to meet true residential standards, the walls still needed a coat of plaster. The plaster material, of course, had to be this mud. They say you can't plaster a wall with mud, but as long as it's mixed with dried grass and stomped with the mighty King Kong foot 49 times. The strongest outdoor concrete in history is complete. This stretchy texture looks incredibly sticky. Next, he just needed to fill every gap in the shelter to ensure it was completely airtight inside. With the porch also plastered, A Gang quickly crawled inside to check it out. While the comfort was excellent, the color looked a bit inauspicious. So, A Gang collected some moss nearby. This stuff is a treasure in the wild. Paving it on the roof not only protects against rain and sun but also improves the shelter's insulation. He then collected some leaves on the ground and sprinkled them on the roof for decoration. Although the effect is quite good, the visual is a bit too strong, reminding me of a certain scene. Once the exterior was fully decorated, A Gang's shelter was complete. I have to admit, the atmosphere he created is quite nice. After assembling the fireplace, there's no need to worry about being frozen awake at night while living inside. After a day of busy work, A Gang finally remembered he hadn't eaten. He found some wild mushrooms nearby. They had a faint fragrance, and he wasn't sure if they were edible, but A Gang collected a large pile anyway. Next, he dug a small pit in the ground, and lighting firewood turned it into a cooking stove. While the fire was burning, A Gang processed a pumpkin, scooping out the unnecessary pulp. Putting the lid on turned it into a wild pressure cooker. Now he could start heating oil in a pan, adding diced onions and stir-frying them until they were no longer raw. Then he added diced mushrooms, quickly stir-frying until the flavors of the two ingredients blended together. I thought this would be a delicious Chinese dish, but the next move completely shocked me. Pouring milk into it. What kind of way is that to eat? I completely lost my appetite. A Gang then poured the whole concoction into the pressure cooker. It looked quite explosive and gooey. After tightly wrapping it in foil, he threw it into the charcoal to bake. I have to say, this guy knows how to cook. After waiting for 2.5 hours, his pumpkin bun was finally ready. A gang took a bite and the taste was decent, but the appearance was quite unappetizing, so we'll skip over that part. After eating his fill, he lit the fireplace and brewed a pot of pine needle tea to warm himself up. With nothing else to do, a gang started thinking about the pumpkin again. This time, however, it wasn't for making a pressure cooker, but for carving a pumpkin head like this. Lighting a candle inside turned it into a unique night light. This way, when a gang is lonely, he can chat with it, ensuring he doesn't feel so isolated in the wilderness.